Imagine walking through trees that seem to watch your every step. The wind whispers names you've never heard, branches snap for no reason, and the feeling of being followed grows stronger with each bend in the trail. What if I told you there are forests that carry centuries of stories, disappearances, rituals, and legends that no one has ever fully explained? Why do some forests feel like they're hiding secrets time couldn't erase? What turns these places into sanctuaries of fear? In this video, we're going deep into 10 of the most haunted forests on the planet. Places buried in mystery, covered in chilling accounts, and filled with paths that unsettle even the most skeptical minds. Get ready for a journey that starts with distant whispers and ends in complete, ominous silence. And believe me, the number one forest holds such heavy energy that even in broad daylight, few dare to step inside. Stay with me until the end, and try not to look behind you. Epping Forest, United Kingdom. Just outside London, between Essex and the city's eastern edge, lies a dense and ancient woodland that feels detached from urban reality. Epping Forest has served as a refuge, a hideout, and today it's one of the most avoided places after dark. With historical records dating back to the 12th century, it was once used by nobles for hunting and later by outlaws as a hiding place. One of the most infamous was Dick Turpin, an 18th century highwayman said to have lived among these trees before his capture. Spanning over 2,400 hectares, Epping Forest is filled with thick vegetation, shadowy lakes, and sudden clearings. The trees, mainly oak and beech, are centuries old, forming natural tunnels that muffle sound and block sunlight. While the forest is easily accessible through public paths, its interior is a natural maze. Walking there at night can quickly lead to disorientation due to the similar-looking trails and near total absence of light. Despite its urban setting, accidents are not uncommon. Falls, drownings, and people getting lost for hours, even with GPS, are all part of its record. The environment is unnervingly quiet, broken only by the cawing of crows or leaves scraping along the wind. The air smells of damp wood, and in some areas, the ground seems to sink slightly beneath your feet. One spot visitors often mention is High Beach Lake, known for mirroring the sky even at night, an eerie yet stunning sight. There are police reports of human remains found in the forest, some without clear explanation. Persistent stories of figures in old-fashioned clothing, dark silhouettes between trees, and footsteps trailing lone walkers continue to circulate. Though used by locals for leisure, Epping Forest has always had a disturbing aura. It's inspired ghost stories since the Victorian era and has been featured in several British paranormal documentaries. Interestingly, its dense atmosphere and frequent fog has made it a filming location for horror movies. And if this forest already makes your skin crawl, just wait until you see what comes next. Wychwood Forest, United Kingdom. In the heart of Oxfordshire lies Wychwood Forest, once part of a royal estate and now remembered for stories of chilling encounters. For centuries, it served as a royal hunting ground, but by the 19th century, it became known for frequent reports of ghostly apparitions. Much of the forest has been lost over time, but what remains still carries a deep sense of mystery. Covering around 500 hectares, the forest is made up of twisted oaks and moss-covered dirt paths. In autumn, the trees take on dramatic shades of red and orange, creating a beautiful but haunting backdrop. The main access is through Cornbury Park, but those who venture deeper find poorly marked trails, crumbling stone walls, and forgotten clearings with weathered stone crosses. The terrain poses moderate risks, slippery sections, gnarled roots, but the real discomfort comes from the atmosphere. Visitors often report sudden temperature drops, even on warm days. One of the most famous legends is that of Amy Robsart, wife of the Earl of Leicester, who died under mysterious circumstances in the 16th century. Locals say her spirit appears in the woods dressed in white, and touching her ghost is said to bring on sudden illness. Though never proven, the legend is so ingrained that many residents still avoid her supposed haunting ground. Wychwood Forest appears in history books and folklore. and night walks organized by local groups often end early when participants begin to feel like they're being watched. And that's exactly the sensation that lingers here, something constant and unseen, and it only gets worse from here. Wistman's Wood, United Kingdom. In the Devon countryside of southwest England sits Wistman's Wood, a forest that looks more like a fantasy world than a real place. Surrounded by hills and cloaked in near-constant mist, it's a remnant of ancient woodland that once covered much of Britain after the last ice age. Believed to have existed since post-glacial times, it's one of the oldest forests in the UK. It's long been associated with druidic rituals and hunters who vanished without a trace. Wistman's Wood is small, just over 3 hectares, but every twisted dwarf oak is draped in thick moss, and massive lichen-covered boulders clutter the ground, forming narrow, claustrophobic paths, accessible only by foot. The hike begins from the Two Bridges area in Dartmoor National Park and takes about 30 minutes, but as you approach, the atmosphere shifts, the wind dies down, and a strange hush takes over. Because it's a protected site, natural hazards are common: slippery rocks, hidden holes. But the biggest challenge is psychological. Even by day, the forest is dim and the acoustics are strange. Sounds seem to come from the wrong direction. Visitors speak of whispered voices, glowing eyes in the dark, and intense physical sensations like shivers or breathlessness. Some claim to have seen large black dogs that vanish without a sound. It's called the Witch's Forest, which is where its name originates. It's inspired poems, botanical studies, and TV shows exploring the paranormal. Curiously, many locals refuse to go in alone, even during the day. And if such a small forest can instill this kind of fear, just imagine what's waiting in the larger ones. Daring Woods, Screaming Woods, United Kingdom. Located in Kent, southeastern England, Daring Woods carries a name no forest wants: the Screaming Woods. The nickname comes from unexplained sounds heard in the middle of the night. The earliest reports date back to the 1800s, when residents of nearby Pluckley, one of England's most haunted villages, started hearing distant cries coming from the trees, covering about 120 hectares. The forest is dense with beech and oak, and in some areas, the canopy is so tight it blocks sunlight entirely. Public access is allowed, but the uneven terrain, poor signage, and often foggy conditions make navigation tricky. Many hikers have reported feeling lost even on short walks. Beyond the darkness and eerie sounds, the forest is said to cause physical discomfort in more sensitive visitors. Nausea, dizziness, and even memory lapses have been reported. The air is cold and still. In certain spots, the silence is so thick that even a snapping twig sounds like a threat. The dominant smells are of wet earth and rotting leaves. Sightings include shadowy figures, distant screams, and soldiers from forgotten wars. One of the most famous stories comes from the 1990s, when a group of teens claimed to see people standing silently among the trees, just watching. Daring Woods has been the focus of many paranormal investigations and frequently appears on lists of the most terrifying forests in the world. And if you think this is already too much, know this: we're not even halfway through the list. If you've made it this far, you already know this journey isn't for everyone. So go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's still ahead. Your support keeps this exploration alive. Dow Hill Forest, India. In the small hill town of Kursan, in northeastern India, lies a forest that many locals avoid, even during daylight. Dow Hill Forest, cloaked in mist and silence, is known for a presence you can't see, but definitely feel. Not far from the forest stands the Victoria Boys High School, established in the late 19th century. During school breaks, residents report hearing footsteps echoing through empty hallways and voices with no source. But inside the forest, among the still pines, the stories grow darker. Dow Hill spans about 110 hectares. The ground is layered in dry leaves and moss, and the air is thick, humid, and filled with the sharp scent of soaked wood. Light barely penetrates the canopy, and no official trails exist, just faded paths that twist into each other and confuse even experienced hikers. The most feared path is known as the Death Road, where numerous people claim to have seen a headless boy walking silently before vanishing into the trees. Though unverified, the story has repeated itself for generations. The forest evokes disorientation and unease. Visitors often report dizziness, a feeling of being watched, or a wave of sadness that seems to come from nowhere. At night, the sound of crunching leaves can follow people. When no one else is there, there are documented deaths at the school and reports of accidents in the forest, adding to its dark reputation. To this day, some taxi drivers in Kherson refuse to take passengers down the road that cuts through the woods after sunset. Dow Hill is regularly visited by paranormal investigators, but no one leaves with answers, only more questions. And the next forest? It takes that discomfort to an entirely new level, where the strange isn't just present, it's part of the landscape. Freetown Fall River State Forest, United States. In the state of Massachusetts, there's a forest where the mystery runs deeper than folklore. The Freetown Fall River State Forest isn't just haunted by stories, it's haunted by history. Covering around 4,000 hectares, the forest lies within the infamous Bridgewater Triangle, a region known for unexplained phenomena, strange lights in the sky, and eerie encounters documented by both locals and law enforcement. Before colonization, the area was sacred to Native American tribes. Archaeological findings suggest they viewed parts of the forest as both powerful and dangerous. In the 20th century, reports of disappearances and illicit rituals brought the forest back into focus and into fear. The terrain is thick with oak, pine, and patches of swampy ground. Trails can be slick and hard to follow, and certain areas are so quiet they feel completely disconnected from the outside world. Others are crossed by creeks or hidden waterfalls that amplify the isolation. Though open to the public, poor signage has led many to get lost for hours. Hikers often report the unnerving sound of footsteps behind them, even when they're completely alone. The forest is also home to wildlife, like snakes and coyotes, adding another layer of risk. One of the forest's most unsettling spots is a ring of stones believed to have been used for rituals, its origins still debated. Visitors commonly report physical reactions nearby, chills, nausea, and even brief blackouts. Freetown Fall River has been featured in news reports and documentaries tied to unsolved crimes between the 1970s and 1990s. While not all incidents are directly connected to the forest, the geography is impossible to ignore. Locally, it's been dubbed the Forest of Unexplained Evil. One of the most disturbing cases involved a group of teenagers who went missing for hours, only to reappear later, unable to explain what happened. And when even science and police investigations hit a wall, it becomes clear why this place is feared. Pine Barrens, United States. Deep in New Jersey lies a forest so vast and strange that it spawned legends for over 250 years. The Pine Barrens spans more than 4,000 square kilometers and is home to one of America's oldest cryptids, the Jersey Devil. Originally settled by European colonists, the area thrived in the 18th and 19th centuries with ironworks and sawmills. But after economic collapse, entire villages were abandoned, and their remains still hide beneath the forest. Made up mostly of tall, tightly packed pines, the canopy often blocks natural light. Narrow trails and poorly marked forks make it easy to get lost. After storms, temporary rivers and swamps appear, turning certain areas into traps. Visitors are allowed, but it's highly recommended to go with a guide. There have been reports of people disappearing for days. The sheer isolation, combined with disorienting terrain, makes every step feel uncertain. The silence is thick. Often, the only sound you'll hear is the crunch of your own steps on dry leaves. The air is damp, heavy with the scent of pine resin and wet bark. Strange symbols carved into trees and long-forgotten cabins with decaying furniture and clothes add to the haunting atmosphere. The Jersey Devil, described as a winged creature with a long face and sharp claws, has been reported since 1735. Locals claim to hear piercing screams in the night and discover unexplainable hoofprints in the soil. Though no evidence has ever confirmed the creature's existence, the consistency of the reports over centuries is startling. Pine Barrens has inspired books, documentaries, and paranormal investigations, attracting curiosity seekers and researchers from around the world. But even if the devil itself never appears, the mix of history, decay, and isolation is more than enough to make this forest unforgettable. And what comes next? A forest that's both storybook and shadow. Black Forest, Schwarzwald, Germany. In southwestern Germany, the Black Forest, or Schwarzwald, is famous for its beauty. But behind the fairy tale landscape is a darker, older reputation, a forest of shadows, myths, and chilling disappearances. The area has been inhabited since Roman times, but it was during the Middle Ages that it gained a mystical reputation. Superstitious villagers, missing children, and legends of dark bargains helped birth some of the most unsettling folk tales in Europe. Spanning roughly 6,000 square kilometers, the Black Forest is dense with towering pines and firs. In winter, it becomes one of Europe's darkest places. Short daylight hours, constant fog, and long stretches of complete silence. There are paved roads and marked trails, but the deeper you go, the more the forest seems to repeat itself. Many hikers report feeling disoriented, as if time moves differently, or they've been walking in circles. The forest smells of sap and damp soil, and footsteps echo strangely among the trees. Feelings of loneliness and being watched are common. At night, visibility vanishes entirely. Stories of ghostly voices calling names, often in children's tones, are widespread. Some speak of shadowy female figures that vanish when approached. While the Black Forest has become a cultural symbol, appearing in films, games, and literature, few know that in the 19th century, a spike in disappearances occurred in its more remote areas. Many were never explained, and if a place this stunning can hide so many secrets, imagine what's waiting in the final two forests, where the natural laws themselves seem to bend. Hoia-Baciu Forest, Romania. Just outside Cluj-Napoca in Transylvania, Romania, lies a forest that seems to defy logic. Hoia-Baciu is often called the most haunted forest in Europe, and for good reason. The forest is named after a shepherd who supposedly vanished here along with his entire flock. Ever since, Hoia-Baciu has been surrounded by tales of paranormal activity, time distortion, and physical anomalies. Covering about 295 hectares, the forest is known for its bizarre trees, twisted trunks, spiraling branches, and a perfectly round clearing in the center where nothing grows. This clearing, known as Poiana Rotunda, has been extensively studied and remains unexplained. The forest is open to visitors, with marked trails and guided tours, but most strange occurrences happen off the main paths, in the thickest parts of the woods. The terrain is uneven, and electronic devices often malfunction. Sounds are warped. Sudden cracks, voices from nowhere, and unnatural echoes are common. The air is heavy, moist, and filled with the scent of moss. Some visitors report dizziness, nausea, or even unexplained burns on their skin. In the 1960s, a series of photographs reportedly showing UFOs above the forest drew global attention. Since then, scientists and paranormal investigators alike have flocked to the area. Reports include shadowy human figures, ghostly children, and lost time, where hours pass in minutes or vice versa. It's been dubbed the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania and remains a global hotspot for unexplained phenomena. If Hoia-Baciu seems to break the rules of nature, the final forest doesn't just unsettle, it drains. Aokigahara, Japan. At the base of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara, a forest so quiet it feels like the world stops inside it. Also known as the Sea of Trees, this is the most emotionally charged place on our list, and one of the most feared. Formed on hardened volcanic rock from past eruptions, Aokigahara is covered in tangled roots and uneven ground. GPS signals fail here, compasses spin, and paths vanish into the trees. Getting lost is dangerously easy, and staying calm even harder. Covering about 35 square kilometers, Aokigahara is known for its density. Sunlight barely filters through the canopy. The soft volcanic soil absorbs sound, making the silence unnaturally complete. Though open to the public, many areas are avoided even by authorities. Rescue teams only enter in groups due to the high risk of disorientation. The air is damp and oddly heavy. Many say it feels like the forest is aware of you. There's no breeze, and the smell of earth and moss hangs thick. Some describe the forest as alive, not metaphorically, but as if it's watching. Historically, Aokigahara has long been associated with sorrow. During feudal times, it's believed that the sick and elderly were left here to die in a practice called ubasute. That legacy lingers. Despite government efforts to reduce the forest's emotional toll, visitors still report seeing figures, hearing whispers, and experiencing abrupt temperature shifts or visual distortions. Aokigahara has inspired countless films, books, and documentaries. And yet, no matter how much it's studied or recorded, one thing remains the same. It's always waiting, still and silent. These forests aren't just isolated patches of the world covered by ancient trees. They are silent witnesses to stories that time couldn't erase. Places where nature has buried what people chose to forget, and where every trail seems to carry traces of something left behind, caught between reality and the unexplainable. And now tell me, would you have the courage to walk through any of these forests alone? Which one got under your skin the most, and what other haunted forest should appear in part 2 of this video? If this content pulled you in until the end, show that it was worth it. Hit the like button now, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes, and turn on the notification bell. Because here, there will always be new videos with real stories, chilling places, and mysteries that stay in your mind.